Jag vill nog så använt
Fuck. Okay. So I made a choice. I had a choice out of two videos. One was a Gigguk and one was another Honcho video. I do owe y'all Honcho. I do owe y'all a Gigguk video because I watched one previous. It was a romance, and this is a romance video, and it is. It says the current state. Okay. The current state of romance animes, and let's get to this. Romance anime nowadays, I feel like I have kind of outgrown it, but somebody also I seen the comment. I won't be able to find the comment on TikTok. The comment on TikTok, it had a gif of the person doing the old thought thing, and the comment had said, it's almost like the anime, that the target's anime was high schoolers. That's what the target anime is. And that made me think, like, when it comes down to romance anime and other animes, and some shonen or isekai, best per se, they're going to be aimed towards high schoolers. And that's the thing, the new wave of anime fans I was talking about in the previous video, the new wave of anime fans I'm talking about, they are at the stage where it's like, I'm tired of all these anime characters being in high school and this and that. It's gonna happen. That's how it is. It was there at first, before, and they're gonna be there. They are the new era of anime fans are wanting these characters either to or make new anime where they have kids. We have anime characters in college and out of college, which yes, they can do that and that's cool and everything. But for the people, them, I don't know if it's right to say them, but the people who make the animes out there in Japan, they gonna keep it in high school, and that's where I feel like they wish they would have had time, or they felt like it would have been great to have all these powers. They not gonna, or really, because they do have some romance animes coming out now that's more of adult life, like the one with the cigarette behind the store or the cash register. And when it comes to the new era of anime fans, they gonna keep complaining, and they gonna want the animes to, like how I said, just change up. Which I think this new era anime can, but when it comes probably down to the end, it's not. They might get a few here and there, but it's mostly going to attain to high school. So yeah, and some of my favorite romance animes are, you already know, Quintessential Quintuplets, one of my favorite romance. What else? Fuka, if I remember right, I think that's a romance anime. What was it, Fuka? I'll probably editor, me, fuck, I don't know. Put in all your top five, your basic top fives of animes that we watching right now. Well, of our anime that we're seeing. Romance. So you already know Fuka is probably going to be there. Quintessential Quintuplets is going to be there. I'm still pissed at who he chose. Still, even after the series ended. But yeah, we're going to get to this one.
Hey you! Who, me? Are you a shy/socially awkward nerd who may or may not be cripplingly addicted to anime?
Yeah, of course.
Yes? Are you looking for a girl that's popular, charming, and attractive, but also has a secret side where she likes the same things you do? How does he know?
I'm about to fix this. Back. I hope this is actually better.
You still a teenager in high school? Well, why not try your local romance anime where we have all the hot single girls in your area looking for a shy, lonely nerd today? Where do I sign up? The romance genre is an absolute staple of anime and manga, and you know I watch it. The love triangles, the hand-holding, the first confession, the drama. This is why we keep coming back time and time again.
Tomo-chan is a girl. Like that one too.
Yeah, and look, if you're a regular viewer, you probably know the types of romances that I tend to gravitate towards. That's right, the respectful ones. But recently there's been a
I already know you fucking pissed off about the stopping this shit. Fuck, I forgot my train of thought. Fuck, I forgot.
Genre that has emerged that has dominated the entire space that I've been struggling to find a name to properly describe. It's been called a lot of things, but the best I can come up with right now is the modern romance power fantasy. You know, it's the one where you have the guy and he's the quiet guy who's probably a nerd and likes anime. I want to know who that's meant to represent. And he has a thing for the popular girl in class, and sometimes she's blind, and sometimes she's Russian, and sometimes she's his sister. And I don't want you to take this the wrong way.
I
Because
totally
as a
forgot about
seasoned
that
isekai connoisseur, just because I call something a power fantasy doesn't mean it's inherently bad or can't come with great writing and well-written characters. Like, I really enjoyed Nagatoro. Dress Up Darling was amazing as well, and then they started making more and more. Alright, we're still going. Okay, there's still more.
Call of the Night season 1 was good. I liked it. And I haven't watched the last romance anime I think I watched was it was either My Dress Up, well, whichever one came last, My Dress Up Darling or Tomo-chan as a Girl. It's one of the two. That was the last romance anime I've watched. Or, hold on, it's either Tomo-chan as a Girl, My Dress Up Darling, Call of the Night. It's one more I'm thinking of, I don't know.
Okay, that's good. I think we're good now. Okay, we're still going. Okay, that's more. That's good.
And it has great girl characters.
I thought the trend was going to peak a while ago, yet somehow, some way, it is only getting more popular. I mean, just look at this season alone. And look, I'm gonna be real. A lot of these times I've glazed over these shows because most of the time they're always a bit too comfy, a bit too drama-free, not enough spice compared to the romance anime I grew up with. But I needed to know why this has become such a dominating force in the space. So I thought I'd give it a second chance because I needed to reacclimate to normal society after rewatching Scum's Wish. I picked 3 recent shows that just kept showing up on my timeline. See why this genre just doesn't seem to be going away. Are these as much of an unrealistic power fantasy as just an isekai, just with a new lick of paint? Do I have the wrong image of them? Are these shows doing anything new in a saturated genre? Is this the new template for the modern anime fan wish fulfillment show? But you know what is my ultimate power fantasy? Hitting my favourite 5-star character on my first 10 roll, which I'm sure is going to happen with today's sponsor, Zenless Zone Zero. That's right, gacha gamers, Zenless Zone Zero has just dropped its version 3.0 update, A Sleepwalker's Confession, and there is so much new content, so let's just jump right into it. Introducing Roskalifer, the brand new world, a massive sky island city with a British urban cyberpunk aesthetic that might just be...
Oh shit, I didn't realize this was an ad.
Seem like your stereotypical popular anime girls in class, except nah, not these girls. They're not like other girls. Which must be true because the opening says so.
I'm not like those other girls you're used to.
Because you see, one of them is secretly a nerd who's into anime stuff, which is exactly like every other anime girl.
I'm like those other girls you're used to.
And who's our protagonist this time? Of course, it's the shy, unpopular anime nerd. But from the get-go, he makes it clear that he's not like other otaku. Nuh-uh, he's different from every other otaku protagonist because he likes anime.
What's that one? The one with the... It has the one with the girl has a chain on the dude's neck. I think that's the other only the only other anime I've seen where the kind of roles are reversed. The guy is outgoing and the girl isn't. It's either one. It's that. It's really that. One side is outgoing, one is not outgoing. Then they meet and come together. I don't think it's too often where you see they both or going up, both of them stay on. Speaking of seasons, a romance anime should have if you gonna make it more than one season, just keep it at 2. Keep it at 2. Cause it's only so far I will keep watching it before I get on my motherfucking nerve. Keep it at 2 seasons. And if you want a movie, go ahead. Like what Quintessential Quintuplets did. They had 2 seasons, then they had the movie. That's it. Because season 1, if you can end it season 1, one of the greatest of all time. Now if you can stretch it for 2 seasons, cool, great. You try and stretch it for 3, fuck no. Get it over with. Cause I feel like season 1 should be like the beginning half of the years, and season 2 should be like in the half of their years. But anything more than 2 seasons is you're doing too much. You're really doing too much.
For girls.
I'm not like those other
Otaku.
you're used to.
What would you know? One of the other girls is also secretly into the exact same show he is. So, after building up the courage, he presses her about it, and they form an unlikely friendship. The other girl also gets involved, and they all start hanging out, bonding over nerd shit. Then, of course, the 2 girls start developing feelings for him. Bada bing, bada boom, there are 2 Marin Kitagawas in your room. It's a very recognizable formula that's been done so many times before, so that begs the question, am I really going to enjoy this show because we've got not just 1 but 2 Gyarus this time? Yes. The answer is yes. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a simple man. I see 2 peak Gyaru designs with likable personalities in a show with great production values from your typical romance, and I'm going to fuck with it. I mean, just look at his opening, man. It's got the colors, it's got the movements, it's got the vibes, and I don't even like K-pop. But shit, if we get more S-tier Gyarus, I'll become the biggest Stray Kids, Blackpink, BTS, TXT listener. I don't even know what I'm saying. These are just letters to me. Have I seen this exact play-by-play before?
I would see some of these romance anime characters that get fucking wasted.
No, but it was just really well executed. And I think the main reason I think this show works really well is that it gives us a love triangle with equally strong contenders on both sides. Too many romance anime come to their stories pretending to have a love triangle that looks like this, but you know, a lot of the time it actually just looks like this. Here, both girls get introduced at the same time. They both have their equal charms, and they share an equal amount of screen time with the protagonist. I came into this with the mindset of it being your typical comfort romances, but with 2 girls this time, but the more episodes I've watched, the more I've realised what this show truly is. This is a harem anime with only 2 options. And boy, now you're entering my playing field. As much as I had a good time with it though, I gotta be honest, it did have its fair share of moments that I like to call shit I see in romance anime that makes me want to become a grass toucher. Main character creaming their pants over the slightest bit of female touch. Oh man, alright lads, I think it's been a while since I've gone out for a run, yeah? Protagonist having a full-blown hallucination thanks to smelling a woman's scent in his...
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that type of shit in anime. That's more towards the ecchi and harem side of anime. But that also too with the seasons and stuff is like, if you can make a great romance anime without that shit, you are one of the greatest romance anime writers of all time. Because I want to say when I was younger, watching this type of shit when it came to anime, the whole touchy, I didn't get it. Now I get it, but it's like, dog, calm down. Yeah, he ain't in the background. That's one of my brothers.
Room. Oh shit, there was a park this close to where I live? How the fuck have I not been there yet? Anime character having a full-on anxiety attack over the thought of an indirect kiss.
Hello? Yeah, sorry mate, I'm a bit busy. I'm sending off job applications to become the groundkeeper of the next
One thing I will say that stood out though was the show's focus on friendship. Our main boy Takio shares a different type of friendship with each girl. With the Mane, they have this shared interest in a niche hobby they can bond over that they can't really do with anyone else. And it's only really around each other that they can truly let their passions come out. AKA the introvert friend. And then with Ijichi, you have someone who has totally different hobbies and likes, but she takes a general interest in his interests. She learns about them, asks him about his fan art, but in turn she also brings him out into situations he normally wouldn't put himself in. And it's because of her that we see a new side to him, aka the extrovert friend. And it's this friendship that everyone, especially the girls, are afraid to mess with. Because on Takio's side, bro doesn't even register them as a romantic partner. He's just ecstatic he can find people he can nerd out with about his favorite topic.
オタクくんはどっちがタイプ？
僕は
Hold the fuck
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and
Cause he better not.
video downloads.
And the teasing shit. That too. I feel like with the teasing stuff, like they shouldn't make it blatantly. Like you see, they being upfront and joking with him, like how she was just doing there. But I feel like they should tease it, like don't do it blatantly, like sneakily do it, so they can back out just in case. Without either person knowing, like, if that make any sense to anybody out there.
And though it's so blindly obvious that the two girls know how each other feels towards Takia, there seems to be this unspoken agreement that no matter what happens, they're not going to let that affect their friendship with each other, reminding us that in the equal battlefield of love, the players can still look at each other and go, hey, you may be my competition, but you're not my enemy.
Bruh.
I'll tell that to the average Messina Ronaldo fan. And it was this focus on friendship first over romance that I started to notice in a lot of the other shows. Because, moving on, let's throw high school out the window for a second and focus on a protagonist that is closer to my age. I mean, way older. Far, far, far older. So old I would never be able to relate to him. He's not that old. Right, guys? We're talking about Smoking Behind the Supermarket with you.
That's what I was
All of you
talking
may
about
remember, I've already gassed up this title when it was a manga, and now that the anime is just released and I've seen so many posts discovering the Greek goth goddess that is Tayama, all I can say is,
Yeah, fucking told you so.
but I know the internet has given everyone the memory of a goldfish, so allow me to give you a refresher.
Here it is.
The show follows Sasaki, aka Billy No Mate's full-on solitude maxing. He's your prototypical middle-aged Japanese salaryman. He works hard, frequently stays behind until go fuck yourself o'clock, where his only solace in life is seeing the smile of his favorite cashier at the supermarket, the angel in an apron, Yamada. I think the only way we can describe him having a healthy work balance is if we use your mum as a counterweight. You can tell a lot about a man, about what he buys at Tesco's after a long day of work, so let's see what our lad is picking up. Alright, looks like he's got some half-price daikon. Ooh, what else? Some mochi chips? I see you, big man. And oh yes, it's been a long day, so here comes a couple of cold ones. Respect. Oh, damn, must have been a really long day of really long day of work. Okay, brother, okay, you can stop now, okay? Come on, brother, that's enough! On this one day, though, Yamada is nowhere to be found, so he has to find some other way to cope with his life.
500 cigarettes.
And who does he find wandering around in the smoking area? Yes, it's the sassy lassie Tayama.
何系かわからんけど強い見た目の子だなスーパーの従業員とは思えない
I wonder who she could be!
しかし雑すぎるだろう田山と山田って
And well, that's the show. Sasaki comes by the supermarket after work to smoke and shoot the shit with Yamada. I'm sorry, Tayama. Over time, they relax and open up.
What?
Their fondness of one another grows, and all the while, Tayama withholds the secret that she's actually his angel and his devil. So yeah, this is basically what happens if you put Senko-san and Call of the Night into a blender with a carton of Lucky Strikes. Plot's about to become
I think I
a
watched that first one. The second one I already
で
watched.
ももし医者にタバコやめろって言われたら
I just simply turn around and turn the fuck off.
The reason I wanted to revisit this series was just to show that you don't always need to be in high school to get a little bit of cheeky power fantasy. Because yes, as a teenager, you can fantasize about getting noticed by the popular girl in class, but, you know, as an exhausted adult crashing out after your 9-to-5 grind, what man wouldn't want to vibe with a hot anime goth girl after hours, even if you have to speedrun cancer in the process? At face value, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what this show's appeal is. I mean, just look at her. Tayama's aesthetic aesthetic is basically peak performance in the eyes of 90% of modern anime fans. She's what Michelangelo would come up with if you asked him to sculpt the perfect Reddit profile picture.
あんた貢がされているんですか？
Yep.
I don't know, there's just something about her that reminds me of someone else. I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Bruh.
Oh. But you know, unlike all of us down bad degenerates, Sasaki is a gentleman. He's genuinely not here to creep on Yamada. He's just here for the vibes. In fact, not a single line of dialogue slips his lips, or even his internal monologues would suggest that he has any salacious intentions. That, or maybe Tayama just isn't his type.
お腹より腕が好きってか、佐々木。
Yeah, that confirms it. He's got
I'll
no
watch
interest in
this
Tayama
if it gets a
because his
dub.
perfect girl is
Or when it
actually
gets a dub, man.
Because you know, while romance is down there as one of its main tags, I'd argue that's not the main driving force for this show at all. Sure, there's no shortage of blushes and moments of overt flirting from Yamada in this show, but they always feel at least organic and quite frankly are the weakest parts of the show for me. But what I do love about the show, and where I think it shines the brightest, is it being about two people who outwardly could not be more different, but in fact are very much the same. Because the focus of the series is on Sasaki, as a viewer it's easy to miss that Yamada is going through pretty much the same stress as he is. Outside of work, we don't see any friends or family of hers. The show puts great emphasis on all the nights Sasaki works until midnight, but brushes over the fact that Yamada is always there at the supermarket at that time as well. The show makes it very clear that he is as much of a comfort to her as both versions of her are to him.
しょうがないじゃん。佐々木さん、私の癒し枠なんだもん。
何それ
山田さんのレジ並ぶ佐々木さんと同じだよ。
Because the focus of the show is the time they spend together and their jobs, you rarely see anything outside of that. But the one time you do, you see both of them live in small apartments with near to no visible possessions, eating junk food and drinking alcohol.
酒買って裏でタバコ吸って帰って寝る。
From what we've seen so far, they simply don't have anything else. And for Yamada, it's perhaps even worse because the comforting third space they share between them is literally behind the very supermarket she works at. And it's this shared experience that makes their conversation feel so organic. Like it's the actual stuff people in their shoes would actually shoot the shit about. This is a show where most of its content is just two people sitting in the same place every episode having a chin wag. And it's no small feat making a formula like that, engaging episode after episode.
I'm liking it,
rewatched the film Lost in
but
Translation, and there's this one scene where Bill
I want to watch
a
it
much
though.
younger Scarlett Johansson's character after a serendipitous meeting that has brought the two strangers together.
Oh, look at that young
After
Scar.
a long night of exploring a foreign city, partying and getting lost, they are just laying in bed in an ungodly hour just talking about life. It's a moment that is so intimate, but not in any weird or romantic way. It's just two people from two different walks of life talking about their deepest feelings, their hopes, their dreams, their regrets, and it's two souls bonding. I love this scene so much. It's a moment that so perfectly captures those 3 a.m. deep conversations you have where all barriers are broken down. For some reason, you feel like opening up, and it's reciprocated by the person you're talking to, and you get to have the types of conversations you never usually would under any other circumstances. And it's these conversations that you'll remember between the two of you for years to come. Now, take this moment and make an entire show around it, and that is Smoking Behind the Supermarket with you, because it's episode after episode where you feel small subtle changes, how much of a positive effect they have on each other's lives. Gradually, the scenes of Sasaki's work feel less and less stressful. Things that would have previously knocked him out, he begins to take in his stride. You can feel that because he's now got something more positive going in his life, everything else feels more positive because of it. Work is easier when there's something after work to look forward to. For a show of this type that is clearly targeted towards an older audience, I can definitely say that this is the vibe I goddamn crave, even more than having a straight up romance. But again, having a show with this setup that is more catered to a mature audience is certainly a rarity in anime, because, going back to high school, if there was one show that on paper looked like it checked every box for the purest wish fulfillment romance power fantasy bingo this season, it was of course, I Made Friends with the second prettiest girl in class.
週末とかちょっと楽しみにしていることとかもない？
You're stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. You're stroking my shit.
Now, I went into this show with alarm bells ringing just reading the title alone, because I Made Friends with the second prettiest girl in class. Like, is there a better shorthand name for this show? Pretty girl, I Made Friends,
Only friend!
IMFWTTPGIC. Secondly, who in this high school decided that she was the second prettiest girl? Did all these girls compete in Miss Japan? Does the school have a pretty girl power ranking system? Are these boys taking a list?
Oh my god. Now that he said, he made me have flashbacks to all the harem slash shonen anime that I used to watch back then. The most funniest trope for when back then I used to watch was when the whole class will find out one of the dudes in their classroom was talking to or dating the quote unquote prettiest girl or the most famous girl in the school, because that would lead to the whole class or all the dudes in the classroom to turn on that one student. I forgot which one anime that was, but they would have like small avatars they would use in power systems. So I have to. Hey, if you can, please go and see if you can find an anime where it's not D drag, it's not that. It's the one where the dude was talking about he was splitting rice, trying to save money, or what you mean? Okay, be right back. Sorry. Yeah. Find anime, please, if you can. Well, not if you won't. Just put in the energy and download the shit and put it on a video.
Then episode 1 starts, and it's exactly the type of show you think it's going to be. You got this guy, Maki, and just to give you a little bit of insight about the type of guy he is, we get introduced to him where he announces himself to the class as the guy with 0 hobbies who spends his weekends alone eating pizza, watching movies, and drinking Coke. I shit you not. Under skills, he puts gaming. Brother, what? Shit, man, why stop there? You could have added not showering, being broke, and giving your opinion on when you got a war game. Vlad's Tinder profile probably has as much chance of finding a match as Italy does winning this year's World Cup. Sorry, Italy, I didn't mean to catch trays. I'm just reading into the World Cup right now. But of course, this is anime. We're having the personality of lukewarm beer. Make sure you're following Gigguk in the anime high school hierarchy. And Umi, the titular second prettiest girl in class, takes notice and follows him into a store so they can bond over B-movies together. And from there, they become friends, hanging out, watching movies, and playing video games. On the surface, everything about the show screams cheap romance wish fulfillment. You've got the loner main character, introvert, who gets noticed by the popular girl in class that shares a secret interest with the guy that is used as a foundation for a friendship. And for bonus points, this girl is super desperate for a friend because she has no guy friends at all. She doesn't know how to talk to a guy properly, which is about as believable as Ryan Gosling being a boy failure in Project Hail Mary. Look, I get it. If I was a teenager still, I would have eaten this concept up. But how the hell am I going to get invested now that these characters are just your normal teenage high schooler?
おかえり、海。
Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
I was prepared to go on a rant on how this isn't too dissimilar to your cheap power fantasy isekais, except the fantasy is just a different genre. But then I kept watching, and it actually started to surprise me. And if you want to go into the show blind, here's where you can stop now, because I will be spoiling some plot developments. A question people often ask me is, what separates a good isekai from a bad isekai? To which I answer, the exact same thing that separates a good anime from a bad anime. Good writing, good characters, and execution. It's no rocket science, there's no secret formula, and I Made Friends, executes this far better than what I was expecting. Umi and Maki are just 2 grounded characters who genuinely make a great couple that are far less tropey than the premise would make you believe. Premise aside, before any romance, this is what it feels like to see a real friendship form. You know that feeling of having that friend in your life? You know, it's your boy or girl that you're just really excited to be able to hang out with whenever you get the chance. It doesn't matter what activity you're doing or if you're doing any activity at all. You could be sitting next to each other, scrolling on your phones in complete silence while memes play on the TV, but it's still a ball of time because damn, your vibes just fit together perfectly. this show captures that feeling. It's been a while since I've seen a relationship develop so naturally in a romance anime. It's not about the big romantic moments or gestures of love. It's about two people who just sincerely enjoy spending time with each other, forming a genuine human connection. If anything, it felt closer to a slice of life. This shit was moving so naturally, you don't even notice a specific point they start developing feelings for each other. They just kind of feel like they always have or always should have done. After a while, you just notice they casually start going on dates, holding hands, sleeping over, and the protagonist isn't going, oh my god, I'm holding hands with a girl. This is the first time I've ever felt a touch of a woman. Forget the will they, won't they? This is the when will they, because they already clearly like each other.
好きじゃなくて
Wait, what?
大好き
Is that the big confession? I'm sorry, what episode are we on? Episode 5? There's like 7 episodes left! The biggest surprise is that when it's less than halfway through, the series drops a bombshell and blows its metaphorical load by giving us the big confession that most romance anime build towards. Which is great to subvert expectations, but you see my domestic girlfriend brain-rotted ass was like, that's it? Where's the conflict gonna come from? Where's the drama gonna come from? How are they gonna keep the story interesting? But this is where it really starts to show its true colours. Because instead of manufacturing conflicts, like adding a third girl midway through to introduce a love triangle and the audience thinks, oh great, here she comes, they've introduced the Italy of the best girl tournament, the conflict is instead internal. I thought the title was just going to be light novel clickbait, but one of the central driving forces of the plot is Umi dealing with her inferiority complex of being seen as the second best girl. Her friends use her as a stepping stone to get to know the real shining class star, Yu. She's never felt like she's truly had a real friendship where she's treated as an equal and just appreciated for who she really is. And Maki is right in the middle of a family divorce. His dad is seeing another woman, his mum is clearly fighting off a boatload of stress, and as a teenager, he's dealing with so much turmoil, he shuts down and emotionally distances himself from the problem, and in turn, everything else in his life. None of this is presented in a dramatic or over-the-top way. It's muted, it's quiet, and it just feels real. This was a level of emotional depth I wasn't expecting from this show. Both of their troubles stemmed from a lack of ability to fully talk and communicate about their inner feelings, and it's the bonds they form with each other that helps them to gather the cup.
I want to see somebody make a romance anime where communication isn't a problem. If y'all have one, put it down. And it gotta have a dub. Fuck you.
Funnily enough, the romance is really just a byproduct of the two of them pushing to bring out the best in their respective partners to help them through these issues. And I think this is the exact point that I realize why these types of romance shows are so prevalent in the modern anime space. Because yes, you can argue that, hey, a lot of guys just want to get noticed by the popular girl in class and, oh my god, she likes anime and video games, mom, get the camera! But go a layer deeper, and I can see with a lot of these shows, yes, they are romance anime with the ultimate goal of seeing two characters become a couple, but before that is, well, friendship. We don't always need the spicy developments or the love triangle that expands into the fourth dimension to keep our interest anymore. It's about the journey of building a true human connection with another person that, you know, may eventually blossom into romance. Fiction, stories have always been there to fill the gap of something the viewer doesn't have. And forgive me for this conjecture, but I don't think it's a coincidence that in an era where the new generation are apparently going through a loneliness epidemic, where we went through a period that has just completely fucked with our social skills for a bit, the fantasy that a lot of people may crave might just be finding that right person they can bond with on a deeper level. That's right. The real power fantasy might just be the friend we made along the way. That was too much, right? That ruined the vibe? That ruined the vibe. So to modern romance fans, all I can say is, I get it. I understand it now. That's not going to stop me from rewatching 4 seasons of Rent a Girlfriend though.
No, fuck you. Alright, that's it, Gigguk. That's enough. But I love the video. Great video, 10 out of 10. Gave me a whole bunch of time to explain everything I wanted to say, but we got back to what I wanted to say, what I was trying to say earlier. Y'all motherfuckers being stuck in the house did so much fucking damage. It really did. I don't know what the fuck what the fuck everybody did. I don't know, it's either getting on TikTok, everybody seeing everybody has the same problem, or it's just everybody's seeing how dirty everybody is, or it's just everybody's seeing something. Maybe you need to get some of the actual introverts before COVID, have them motherfuckers sit down and have them say what probably could have happened. And I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all remember back when COVID happened and then the world shut down? Y'all remember the ecosystem had went back to being good? Like some alleyways was clean water because humans was gone for about a year. Crazy work. But that's a whole conversation for another time. So with that, oh jeez, I ate like 2 pizzas earlier. The bill ends, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye.